H to the OV. I used to by the OZ. I guess even back then you can call me CEO of the ROC. Ho, fresh out the frying pan into the fire. I be the music biz #1 supply.
These guys.
And he's taken a few shots at the other team already to get his teammates revved up. The big story is the return of William Buford from being injured. Sit back and enjoy this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports fans. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan alongside Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. While we've got a chance here, let's now take a look at the starting lineups sponsored by State Farm. One of the guys we'll be watching out for today, the former Florida Gator, Bradley Beal.
You know, and I think it goes without saying, guys, but his strength and body control scoring in close, that's what makes him special. You can see it with the shooting percentages inside. I mean, he's a tremendous finisher.
And he's a great three-point shooter, too, especially when he lets it go from one of those corners. He doesn't miss many of those.
This game marks the end of a road trip for Oklahoma City. They're looking to snag one here before heading back home. They've got to feel like, guys, they have an opportunity to rack up some wins over the next stretch of their schedule. You know, they'll be playing a lot of games in their own building.
And, Kevin, remember, this is the second and final time they'll see these guys. So they want to make sure that things are different this time. I would look for them to really attack and play aggressively early on.
Well, I think that's a given, Steve. They've got to. I mean, if they want to get a different result. I'm sure they took something away from that game, so let's find out if they can put that knowledge to use for them here in this one.
Gets it to go.
You don't need much range to hit from that distance, Kevin.
We're about 1 minute into the first. For the Washington Wizards, they come in off the loss to the Magic.
Pretty lazy effort defensively that night from them, guys. You know, I know that it sounds harsh, but hey, I speak the truth.
Yes, you do. Where were the adjustments is my question. I mean, the coaching staff didn't seem to realize, as everyone else watching did, that changes had to be made defensively. They never moved on anything.
Now here's Jones. Turned in an outstanding game against Atlanta. Curry misses in close. Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, I briefly spoke with Oklahoma City's head coach. One player we discussed in detail is the young Bradley Beal. He said, I was a fan of his game from watching him at Florida. His combination of outside shooting and slashing make him a very tough cover. We're going to put pressure on him and try to take the ball out of his hands. And Kevin, Beal's such an intriguing talent. We'll see if he's able to put up some big numbers.
Thanks, Doris. Here is Wall. Following the score by Serge Ibaka. Serafin the pass to Wall. The drop step. That's good. Wall's got his first bucket in this one.
You know, Kevin, they were a step late on their defensive rotation, and that helped them get right to the rim.
Curry setting the pick for Westbrook. Gets it to go. Westbrook's got 6 points.
And defensively, remember, you got to fight through screens to avoid giving up open looks.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Steve. And the defense has to go over the top of that screen. I think that's how they get it done.
Morris with the bucket.
They're coming out strong, guys. That's 4 for 5 from the field.
And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Westbrook gets a screen from Curry. Ibaka right side. Kicks it to Jones. Back to Ibaka. He feeds it to Westbrook. 5 to shoot. Over to Wall. And Westbrook gets it to go on the assist from Ibaka. 8 points for Russell Westbrook.
You know, this has been his quarter here. Still hasn't missed the mark yet.
There's the dish to Beal. Back to Wall. The feed now to Morris. The Wizards working the ball around now. Here's Serafin. The Shot misses. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. This is the second outing of the season against the Wizards.
Yeah, they really took it on the chin that last time out, and the difference was the turnover differential. When you look at the stat sheet, they were so careless with the ball, and those mistakes were just too much to overcome.
Wall against Westbrook. Wall dishes to Beal. Backing down. Feeds to Morris. Over Jones. Morris, no good. What about, Clark, what Steve just talked about? How was it possible for them to turn the ball over so much in that game?
Well, I mean, the defense was outstanding. Now, you got to give some credit where credit is due. But they also were a little sloppy at times with the ball.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right.
And his skills go well beyond just his scoring ability.
The Thunder leading by 6. Corey Joseph is out there with Bradley Beal. Then it's Hill. Then there's Tobias Harris. And it's Serafin in at the 4 spot. That's the 5 on the 4 for the Wizards. Shots good by Ibaka.
Well, none of the defenders were quick enough to step out and get a hand in his face on that jump shot. Big mistake there.
Pass to Beal. 17-foot shot on the way.
Well, you know what? You really expect him to knock that jumper down when he gets a good look like that.
And the basket by Jones. And it's a 10-point Thunder lead.
Nicely done. They've really attacked effectively in transition.
There's no doubt about it, Steve. Their quickness has given them an advantage. I mean, I've liked the way they've pushed the ball all game.
And Joseph kicks to Serafin. From down in the low post, it goes. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Westbrook gets a screen from Curry. Westbrook with it. Now Beal defending. And it's Westbrook missing.
Tell you what, things just aren't bouncing his way this quarter.
Looking at Oklahoma City, they took the win in their last game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
And I don't want to take anything away from their effort in the win, but there's not a whole lot of fight from the defense they were facing.
Yeah, they took advantage of that, Steve, as you would expect them to. You got a team that's not showing you any defensive resistance. Show them your killer instinct.
Durant, and that one's good. And the Thunder lead by 10.
And when you play against him, guys, you know that it's going to be very tough to deny him if he gets in close. So you've got to body him. You can't let him get positioned down by the hoop. Otherwise, he'll just torture you down there.
And you know what else? I love how comfortable he is rising up and knocking down jumpers straight off his dribble. He doesn't need a fancy setup to be effective.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thanks, Kevin. The Beast. In their last matchup against the Hawks, he had an off game. He chipped in his share of points, but also put up 4 boards. He shot a very low percentage from the field, uncharacteristically low. We'll be curious to see how he responds here in this one, guys.
Thank you, Doris. And just not the game he hoped to have, guys.
It sure wasn't. And you know that to be a winner in basketball or the game of life, it takes experiences like that to cause you to use it as fuel to bring it that much harder the next time. Sometimes you grow through that adversity and disappointment. We'll see what he does here.
Well said, Clark.
Yeah, and the key is, I think, you have to have the right approach and the right attitude. You have to use the experience, but you have to let go of the emotion. And as long as he's motivated and excited to be out here, he can figure out what to do next and kind of take that next step forward.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Gibson's checked in. So it's the Wizards now. It's a 10-point game. Good.
Beautifully executed play there to get that basket.
Thunder have gone 8 of 12 since the start of the second quarter. That's a really high percentage, hitting around 67%. Here's Durant. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Durant's got 4 points in the quarter.
Well, you look at the statistics, the mid-range jumper has the least payoff of any shot, but they've made the most of their chances here.
Yeah, defenses don't want to give up layups or open threes, so they force you into that tough mid-range area, but they're doing a good job of knocking them down right now. He's been hot for most